94.3 of the Ox. It's Hayden Kaufman and Better Off. Monday, right? 8:39. Time for Coffee Talk, brought to you by the Comanche Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture. Check them out at #Explore Comanche, Texas. As we say good morning and welcome in Cynthia Newton with Hope Counseling. How we doing?
Good morning.
We've had you only had 2 days with the kids at school so far, right?
We had 2 days at the school.
Today's
day
I
number
can
3.
already tell.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
I love our teachers. I'm not joking. I love our teachers. I'm saying that like seriously.
Sure.
But no. Anyway, but yeah, we're back to school, and I know that there's still some schools starting this week, so those parents are on that final countdown, and they're ready too. So
sure.
Anyway, but we're getting ready, and school's starting, and
whether you're ready or not.
Yeah. Football's starting.
Oh man, I know.
Went to a scrimmage Friday night.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. It's like, man, it's time for football.
Yeah. Too bad we don't have fall
Friday night
weather yet.
I know, no kidding. It was a little bit warm at the Comanche Stadium Friday.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Imagine.
So today, we're going to talk about toxic work environments.
Oh man, I love those.
I know. You probably enjoy working in them. I can see that.
Hey.
I did not mean that this was a toxic work environment here. This is not your only job. Anyway, I better recap here. All right, so back to my script. If you love to work and genuinely enjoy your profession, then you normally have no problem getting dressed and ready to go in for each shift. See, we know that. You enjoy coming to work every morning.
Oh man, they can't keep me away.
Exactly. But if you've noticed a bit of a shift in your behavior recently, you may be wondering what's caused this change. Like maybe you're hitting the snooze button about 10 times instead of just twice.
Right.
Maybe it's that dragging in. It's taking 10 cups of coffee before you leave the house instead of just one.
Complete lack of motivation.
Absolutely a lack of motivation. But if you notice that bit of a shift in your behavior, you may just be wondering what's caused it. So maybe you realized you have to convince yourself to get out of bed in the morning just to make it to your job on time, when this was never a problem before. Sometimes individuals can experience burnout if they have been in the same position for an extended period of time, and others may have a history of depression and think this is the cause of the change, when in actuality there may be burnout or some toxicity going on in the work environment that's really making it difficult for them. That another potential cause that is not often considered, like I said, is the workplace environment itself. Okay? So we don't want to believe that, because we want to think, oh, it's got to be us. It's got to be us. And I'm not saying that even the workplace environment, we can't be contributing to some of that toxicity.
Sure.
But there still can be a lot of things that can create that and make it more difficult. So working in a toxic environment can be absolutely 100% draining for the individual when you feel you're working hard, but you are consistently falling short on meeting company expectations. This can have a big impact on your self-esteem and mental health. The typical issues or concerns considered when someone thinks about a toxic work environment are age, race, gender, discrimination, and sexual harassment, but there are many other signs. Some other indicators of a hostile or toxic work environment might include poor communication between managers and the staff. You've never experienced that, right?
Never happens.
Everybody's supposed to read my brain, right? I mean, they're supposed to know exactly what I'm thinking and exactly what I expect them to do. I mean, that shouldn't have to spell it out for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
That's what they think.
That's what managers think. Sometimes, not all. Okay,
No.
But sometimes, not being upfront about employee expectations. If you're a manager and you're not upfront about what you expect from your employees, you're gonna probably have some issues. You're gonna be let down because they don't know what your expectations are. They don't know how to achieve them if you don't tell them. Now, if you have told them, then that's a whole different can of worms.
Sure.
And maybe they may not be hearing. Maybe they need a different type of managerial style too. The joys of being a manager. No consistency. What if different employees were to receive different instructions for the same job or task?
That never happens either.
Never. The same job, the same task, but yet you've got all these different instructions, and then they're talking, now, wait a minute, I'm supposed to do it this way. No, wait a minute, we're supposed to do it this way. Oh, my Lanta.
They told me not to worry about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's due here. Okay. So, that is going to cause undue stress, undue anxiety, and toxicity. Not open to suggestions for improvements. Because I'm the boss, I know how to do it, right?
Any idea that is not mine is wrong.
Right.
Right.
No.
That never happens
That's wrong.
either.
We have, it doesn't. I mean, it's kind of like it's always good to bring a fresh set of eyes in to
Sure.
evaluate how we're doing things.
Oh, yeah.
Because you get blinders
Uh-huh.
on, and you think, well, I've done it this way for all
There's
these
why we've
years.
been
There can't
doing
be
it.
another
Yep.
way to do it.
We fear change.
You bring in another set of eyes, and it's like, hey, we could streamline it by doing it this. Oh no, that's technology. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. It's about how it is.
That is.
Yeah.
That's my response. It's technology. I don't want to learn anyway. But I mean, you get that's the point of having fresh eyes.
Sure.
Possibly just somebody, even just another individual just come in and say, hey, what's your opinion on how we do this? Looking at different things. So being open to suggestions for improvements, and not just putting it into the never to be completed pile, but actually taking time to listen to what your employees' suggestions might have. Unaddressed topics of concerns that you or coworkers have shed light on. Okay, so if you've shed light on a concern, or you've said, hey, there's things are going on, and you don't ever feel like they're addressed, that's going to be a difficult environment for you to continue to work on. Absolutely.
Sure. Demoralizing.
Absolutely, because then it makes you feel like you're not important. Okay. High employee turnover rates.
There you go.
If you
There's
see
a
that
red flag.
revolving door, if you see in it, like, every month or two, it's like, okay, they can't, over and over and over. I mean, there's kind of got to be something going on there. Causes you to lose sleep due to stress and anxiety. If you're not getting sleep, guys, because of your work, and you can't shut your brain off, you may need to take a look at what you're doing and how you're doing it, and if it's the work environment, or if you're burnt out, because burnout in and of itself can really lead to feeling like you're in a toxic environment.
Yeah.
Little concern of employers to protect a work-life balance. Okay, we can't, as managers, expect our employees to be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, they've got to have some downtime. Either, working out a rotation, working out something, I mean, whatever, if you've got to have on call, if you've got to have different things, okay, but then helping them. Sometimes we have to help them learn, hey, if I step over the grounds, I mean, it's okay to, if it's outside the normal working hours, to say, hey, I'll answer this in the morning, or just ignore it until the morning. You can't expect a person to do something outside of what their normal hours are, unless you have laid that out.
Sure.
As part of the expectations. Yeah. Then that's a whole different story, because if they know that's part of the expectations, right. But even still allowing some time away and time off. Encouraging or demanding long work hours. Okay, again, you cannot do that. You don't want to encourage, what's 18 hours today? No big deal. Nothing wrong with that. You can do that for 3 or 4 days, and then
too bad you're
go
on
back
salary.
to exactly. Too bad
You'd
you're
be making bank, man.
All right, expectations, like I said, to work off the clock after hours, to meet my expectations or the manager's expectations. You can't do that, okay? Right. I mean, this is one of the things, how many people that come to my office and it's like, I don't know how to put it down. I have this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. I said, you know what? Guess what? You walk away, you leave it, it'll still be there tomorrow when you come back to the office. Yeah. I promise that. A lot of times we put expectations on ourselves above what our manager does, because we want to make sure we have a hard time. We may have a hard time leaving things and walking away unfinished. Right. So, increased irritability with your family because of constant stress at work. Who are the first people we take it out on?
The people that love us.
That is right. The people that love us, the people that we know that are going to be standing by us no matter what. So, can't really lose it on our boss at work, because we probably lose our job. But we can walk into the house and
combust.
Yeah. Yell at the dog who did nothing but sat there and just wanted some attention. Yeah. Kick the door, throw pots and pans around. I mean, you can do all of these things, but what is that going to do? Yell at your kids for literally doing absolutely nothing except, hey, I want to tell you about my school day. Make sure you take that time to adjust from work
Detach.
to home. Absolutely. You've
Right.
got to find that key for you, because you don't want to take it home.
Right.
Leave it at work and be able to get home and walk in and not take it out on your family. Okay, that is one of the biggest causes of marital distress, problems with kids, is things being brought home that don't need to be.
And that one also goes the other way. Don't take home to work.
Absolutely.
They show up. Boo!
Yeah, absolutely.
Been fighting with the wife all night. And,
yeah, I mean, you've got to be able to separate it.
Yep.
So, all right, bullying behaviors at work, things like forming cliques. I mean, yes, even when we're adults, this does happen still. Intentional exclusion of another employee. Hey, we're all going to go out to dinner. There's 5 people that work in the office, but that one person's not invited.
Yeah.
And you don't make a point of inviting them.
Ostracized.
Well, guess what? You've just done a type of bullying by not including them. Well, we just don't like to be around them. They don't ever go anyway. Well, don't assume.
Right.
You've got to ask them. You've got to invite them. They may not be able to go, but they may say, "Hey, next time I'd really like to." But if you don't give them that chance, you're becoming the bully, and you're becoming that person that's going to cause problems. Ridiculing employees. Okay, this is huge, and sometimes we do it everybody kind of do things in a sarcastic way, and we don't necessarily mean, what we're saying and whatever, but sometimes people don't understand what we're saying. So they may take it as, well, they don't like my work, or they don't do this because we're joking or whatever with them. So really be careful about how you're doing things. But you also don't want to ridicule and talk bad about employees or about other people that you work with either, because that's bullying. No 2 people are going to do the same job identically. We're not robots. We're not made that way. Now, if you had 2 robots sitting there in the office, they're probably going to do things the same way. But because they've been programmed to.
Right.
We're humans. We're not programmed. All right. Intimidating employees. This is actually happening more and more. Reminding them a full-time status of insurance benefits are at risk. Okay, that's huge. Like, if you don't maintain this level, we're going to knock you down to part-time. You're going to lose all your benefits.
Yeah.
That's big when you look at benefits.
Sure.
And the persistent office gossip. That water tower gossip, as we call it. Water cooler gossip. I mean, the break room gossip, and somebody else walks in the room, and all of a sudden the room gets quiet. Oh, that's always been me that walks in the room, and everybody gets quiet, so they're probably always talking about me. But anyway, it's something real. It's something that happened. It's something that's intimidating. It's something difficult, to go to work when you feel that way as well. So if you feel like your job is draining you and the stress and negative impact is being carried over into your personal life, then being able to recognize these red flags as they are happening will be instrumental in implementing an exit strategy sooner rather than later. Things do change over time at different jobs, and part of that is new policies, but another part is different personalities, okay? Sometimes a new boss or a new employee may not realize they are not being helpful or motivational, and if you have taken the time to point out these indiscretions in a professional manner, but there was no resulting change, then you still have other options. The next step would be to go to this person's supervisor and explain the situation to them. If no change occurs again, then it may be time to look into an exit strategy for you. This might include finding and securing a new job, turning in a resignation, and just take things one day and be proud of yourself for prioritizing your physical and mental health over your job and your family and your life. Of course, if this does not sound like your work environment and things all seem to be good there, but you have a history of a mental health diagnosis like depression, then it would be beneficial to also reach out to a professional who can assist you. So, just realize, there can't always be that mental health component, but there also can be real true work toxicity, and making sure, and if you're feeling that burnout, if you're starting to see things, evaluate where you are in your job. Look at that. Talk to a professional. I've had lots of people come in I don't understand what's happening to me, and maybe it's me, maybe it's my job, maybe it's this. They're having to look at a transition. Are they burnout? That it happens. It happens to everybody. So if you feel like you need help at Hope Counseling of Texas, we're always here for you. Offices in Comanche, Hamilton, Dublin, and Eastland, right? Okay. I spouted it off last week.
Just
maybe,
when
but
I thought you had
I
this
know.
behind us.
Man, thought I was doing good, and then my kids go back to school and my brain stops working. But yeah, so we're here for you. Hope Counseling of Texas, 325-356-1105. Find us on Facebook at Hope Counseling of Texas, or just give us a call. We'll be happy to work with you. Comanche, Eastland, Dublin, and Hamilton. 325-356-1105. As always, guys, have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday.
Cynthia Newton, as always, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
While adding a touch of class to your home or office, call Harris Custom Cabinets. Handcrafted with